On this episode of Ask Rad Rat, we're going to catch up with Session, talk about what I expect for the final release in a few days, and just see how it looks right before launch. Welcome back to Rad Rat Video, a channel all about skateboarding in all of its forms. I like to answer your questions on this series, Ask Rad Rat. You can submit your own questions by going to Rad Rat Video and filling out the form on the homepage. That's what all these people did, such as this first question from Son of Rad Rat. I would have more sons if I was faced with this scenario more often. Here's the question. I have a hypothetical scenario here. Dua Lipa knocks on your door wearing a fetching red bathrobe with nothing underneath, and she asks you out on a date back to her hotel room. While she is asking you out, you feel your phone vibrate from your pocket. It's a text from Rodney Mullen asking you to meet him at the skate park because he wants to skate with you. What do you choose? It's Rodney Mullen. I'm sorry. Like, it doesn't even matter who it was at my door. I would skate with Mullen if I ever had the chance. I just love to pick his brain and just to hang out with the guy. Sorry, that's just what it's gonna be. So you're not gonna have a lot of half siblings, Son of Rad Rat. Weird question. I don't know why I picked it. It was kind of fun. Next one is from Casey Lind, who says, what is the most amount of flips done by a board in a single kickflip? The most I've ever seen is 4. There was a clip that was going around a long time ago where someone did 5. They did a quintuple flip on flat. But if you watched it really close, it was probably like a triple, but they looped the board flipping because it's flipping so fast at any single frame. There shouldn't be 2 where the boards flip the exact same amount. Like, it was exactly sideways at 2 separate times, and like that's just not gonna happen, and so that was fake. So the highest I've ever actually seen is 4. I did a video where I calculated the highest amount of flips you could possibly do. You could check that out for all the details and all the math on that. And it's very much like ideal case. It's if you were able to get the full strength of like a football punt, like a professional level kick mixed with the highest airtime on flat you could possibly get. It is theoretically possible that you could do 6. But the thing is, you can't really kick the board like that in the air. It's more of a flick on the ankle. Like, I think 5 could be possible. 4 is incredible. If you've ever done a triple, you realize that takes a lot. You're really going for it to get 3 flips. I have not done 4. I don't think I've ever even done 3.5. So 4 is incredible if you ever see 4. 5 I think could be done. 6 is like if you trained your whole life for that and nothing but that, and you were gifted in every possible way. It could be possible, but it's very unlikely. Again, you can check that out. That popped up, and you can watch that to see all of the details on that. But that's more of an in theory type of answer. All right. The next question is from Perry, who said, I always wondered, how late does a late flip have to be considered a late flip? For me, it just can't be as part of the pop, So, and it's normally because you do it with the opposite foot. If you're able to do something with the wrong foot, it's late no matter what. So you pop the tail. I noticed that there was a spider web on this last time I picked it up. But if you pop the tail and flip with your back foot, it doesn't matter how quickly you can do that. You can pop and flick pretty quickly. But as long as a pop and then a flip, it's late. If you don't scoop the board, but you pop straight and then push it out for a late shove, it's late. It doesn't matter if the board is just barely off the ground and then it starts to spin. If it doesn't scoop with the spin, then it's late. And you don't necessarily have to do that with your back foot. You can do a late front shove with your front foot. But yeah, like a late hard flip is with your back foot, so it doesn't matter the timing of it. It's more about which foot. Now, that said, if you were to do a late flip with your front foot, so you pop and then you flip, at some point it's a late flip, right? Like it can't just be a kickflip no matter when you do it. So if you pop and on your way down you flip it, then I would probably call that late. But that's not really a hard, solid type of law about how you would name tricks. It's just, if it's obviously late, it's late, assuming it's not with the wrong foot. For the last question, I'm going to go to a video. The last question of the day I thought I would answer in-game because it is about session, and it is from Safe, who says, I was wondering what your thoughts are on session these days. The game is finally having an official release on September 22nd with more updates and paid DLC planned after release. By the way, I'm trying to play and read at the same time. You should be very impressed. What are your first impressions of what they've announced for V1? Do you feel like the new pricing is fair? What are you disappointed that they're missing? What are you hoping they add post-release? Okay. As far as the prices, and there's a normal version and there's I forget what they call it. I don't have all that up in front of me. I think the price is fine, but it really is going to depend on what the game is actually like when it's done, because if it's anything like this in the state that it's currently in, I think we're in trouble. Because this game is not nearly done. And I just don't know what they've added that I haven't seen yet. I have seen some clips where carving and getting into a grind on coping on a ramp is going to be in, and stuff like that. But I don't know how it's going to be as far as just being a game, because right now there's almost nothing to do, and I have done all of it. There's a couple of different people you can talk to, and they don't talk, it's just a little voice bubble, and they tell you things to do and you get money. I'm skating this on purpose because I know it doesn't work very well, and I'm trying to point out some of the things that are going to be messed up with it, and you're going to see me fall through the ground at some point, or if not, just get stuck in something. And these types of things are what I'm actually the most concerned about. If the game is not done, then putting it out now is a terrible idea. That said, it's very likely that they have been doing all this kind of stuff behind the scenes, and they just don't update the this version of the game that you can buy and play right now. Like if you bought the game right now, it's this. And there's not much to do. There are a couple of different levels to skate in and things like that. But other than that, there's just not all that much to do. So let me look at the questions. The paid DLC I am a little annoyed by, but it's going to depend on how done it is. If the game is very good and they can just add some more things, at some point in the future, I'm okay with that. But the idea that they have it done and they're going to try to sell it to you right after you buy the game, I don't like that as a concept. I'm not super concerned about it. It's not like this is a full price $60 game or anything like that. So what are they missing? What are you hoping they add? Things that they're missing are different kinds of late flips. I've never seen a game where you can do a late hard flip or a late, like a 360 flip or something like that. So you can do like a normal late flip and you can do a late shove it, which is kind of difficult. Let me see if I can do it with the front foot. Yeah, certain things like that. It doesn't seem like look at how this looks. Okay, late shove it. It's not moving like I did it with my front foot. Front foot does practically nothing. The board just spins. It lands. I kind of land in the air above it, and then I kind of reconnect with it. In the state that the game is in right now, that's fine. But if this was the final, if this is how it looks in the final version that comes out, it's going to be kind of a problem. But the point is, I would like to be able to combine those. I'd like to be able to do like a late flip and a late shove it at the same time, or late front shove and late kick flip, things like that, and just come up with different types of tricks. And the thing is, you can do pretty much anything you want in this game, but not really, because it snaps to certain types of tricks. Like if you want the board to spin once and flip twice, you can't do it. If the board is going to flip twice, it has to do a 360. You can't do, it can't be done. Now, I did it once as a hard flip. I filmed it with my, I'm going to show you that in a second. I filmed that with my phone. I'm going to see if I can add that clip in there. I've been trying to do this trick over and over and over and over. I have never figured out how I managed to do that. I would love to be able to have that kind of fine-tuned control so that you can do, different. You could do a trick where the board spins a full 540 and flips once. Right now, if you do a 540, the board will flip at least twice. I can't even get in the air off of this thing. I'm trying to show you a kind of weird thing that I found. Am I not allowed to go? No, I can go that way. I'm just not. I don't know. Things like that happen a lot in the game. I'm trying to find something where I can get a decent amount of air to show you the weird little trick that I found in the past. So if you put your back foot to the side of the board and pop, you kind of drift over to that direction. So you can kind of pop sideways. Now if you pop sideways and do a flip, the board spins a little bit. So if you just see this kick flip, it spun a little bit. Now, if you let the board spin 3 or 4 times, it'll spin all the way around. So you can do a triple hard flip or a quadruple. The quad is you can actually land straight. The triple you'll land kind of sideways, but you can still actually land it. I'm not seeing anything immediately nearby where I can show that to you. But like, why is that in the game? Why can I do a triple hard flip? Hold on, I'm going to find a spot. All right, so this spot is a little bit better at one point, because the game does, have different kinds of updates and things, and I'm never entirely sure what's happening. I have done a quadruple hard flip off of this and landed it. Today, I can't even get all the way to 3 flips. And if you catch it too early, you kind of bounce off it in the air and you stop. This is all kinds of stuff that is just not done. And I'm not mad at it for not being done, but the game comes out very soon. I think it's going to be, let me see if this actually was an example. I think it comes out in a couple of days when this one is going to go up. No, that was just weird. But you can spin backside as you do it and do like a triple flip, body varial. There we go. Okay. All right. There we go. So this is a triple hard flip, but I spun with it, which kind of helps for some reason. So board does a triple flip as I spin backside. You're not supposed to be able to do that. Like, that's not built in. That's just kind of like it's not a glitch. It just kind of, it works that way and nobody knows why. So, there's a lot of stuff. Your foot goes through the board when you flick an inward heel flip. It just phases right through the board. This has been the case for a long, long time. Now, the thing is, this game is going to be coming out as a 1.0 in a few days. Is all of this stuff fixed and they just haven't shown us yet? I hope so. But beyond that, even if all this stuff is fixed, right now, the game is still kind of a toy. It's fun. There's a lot of stuff to do if you like skateboarding. But if you play games and you enjoyed all the Tony Hawk games, you enjoyed the skate games, but you don't actually skate yourself, you need to have things to do in the game, and right now there's very, very little. So I'm concerned to see how it's actually going to turn out. But I am hopeful, because something that I have seen is they have added in, this is not actually in this build yet, but you can do grinds on coping by like kind of carving into it. Right now, doing anything on transition is pure luck, because if I try like a frontside flip on this, nothing happened. If you pop a little bit sooner than that, it can work. If you do it like right there, it is possible. I've done it before. If you do it super low, no problem. You can do it a bit higher. But yeah, like stuff like that just doesn't work. Try to explain to somebody who doesn't understand how game building works why you can do a frontside flip low in transition but not a little bit higher. So I'm a little bit concerned for that, and I would like to show you one more weird thing. Okay, so I have when you used to fire up the game, it would start right here. It doesn't anymore, but I've skated this ledge a million times. Here's the thing: if you want to nollie backside flip onto it, I'm gonna need a little bit more speed for that, but it's possible. It can be done. There we go. The catching, I would like to talk about the catching a little bit too. It's very difficult. All right, you can nollie backside flip onto this particular ledge. The board clears it just fine. It shouldn't have taken me that many tries because it can be done. Nollie frontside flip is almost impossible. In fact, I have never managed to do one. Why is it different the way that you spin? Now, you saw me take a couple of tries to do a backside, but I've tried this a lot. Now, this is kind of a land. It worked, sure, but my feet went through the board, and then I went crazy because the board was not fully flipped or it over. I don't know. You know, like if you get up here, it's a glitch. You cannot just naturally get up here. Same thing with a heel flip. You can do a nollie frontside heel flip, no problem. And this ledge is glitched. You can't really grind on it. A nollie backside heel flip, on the other hand, you cannot do. If I get lucky, I might glitch out and kind of phase through the board and land it, but I have actually never done it, and I've tried it a lot because I like to do a line here. I do like this, and I land in a fakie 5-0 or a switch crook. Do something out here, and then I come over and I grind that. Like I've done this line a million times, but if I try to do it alley-oop, I have never once gotten up on there. But this is a different glitch. If your board touches something as you get up in the air, it sometimes launches you up in the air. So if I did a kickflip like right there, there's a chance that it launches me like, you know, an extra 3 feet up in the air. There's lots of just really weird things that are still in the game that I'm concerned about because I haven't seen what it's going to be like. Here's another weird example. If I want to do a crooked grind, nollie flip out on this bench right here, let's say I want to do a double. So that was a pretty solid attempt right there. I can get about 1.5, not quite. It's not quite to half. So I can get 1 and let's call it a half. Just let's be kind. I can do 1.5 flip out. All right, great. But what if I try it? It's hard to specifically set a marker fakie. All right, let me try to do it with a half cab in, for example. All right, so if I do the exact same trick, I need to actually land on it though. But if I can do half cab crook, okay, I gotta see. That's the kind of stuff that's in the game now. All right. That is my example. If you half cab into the crook, suddenly I can flip the board twice. So like the board flips faster if you half cab into a grind. Why does it do that? I have no idea. But you have to know all this stuff because, you know, as I've talked about, I have done this line a million times where you start here, you grind something over here, you end up, maybe there's a flat ground trick you do here, and then you grind on this ledge, and then maybe you grind, you come around over here and you grind on this thing, got to clear that little gap, maybe you do a back tail here, you know. I've done this type of thing a lot in the game. And the thing is, if you don't know all of these little quirks, if you don't know that if you have done a half cab into a grind, you can flip faster out of it. If you don't know that type of stuff, it's almost impossible to do stuff that you want to do. So when you see clips of people doing stuff in this game and it looks good, like it's impressive. I've played this game for hundreds of hours, and you've seen me fail at really simple things. It's a very difficult game. And if it, here's another weird example, you know, like I should have tripped over that, but I don't. I just kind of glance off of it. Lots of really weird things in the game that show that it's not done. If it's anything like this when it comes out, I'm going to be really concerned about it because I want the game to do well. I enjoy this game. I've been just complaining about it this whole time because I'm just showing you how not done it is. But that doesn't mean I don't like the game. I think this is the most sim-like skateboarding experience you can have. There's no other game, including the new Skate. If I have played it, I would not be legally allowed to tell you that I had. But if I had, I could tell you that this game still feels more like actual skateboarding. It's, you know, you're not hitting gigantic ramps going 800 and just like doing 1080s and stuff like that, you know, like it's more actual skateboarding like, and I want it to be successful. Okay, here's an example of a 540 flip. The board, see, you catch it. You sometimes catch things with your foot upside down. Because the board is going to flip once per 360, to do a 540 double flip, you can do it. It just means that he's going to catch it upside down. And if these things are all still in place when the game comes out to everybody, and everybody gets to see all of these problems, it's going to be tough. It's going to be a tough sell to get people to buy this. People have seen Skate. You're not supposed to post anything that you've done in it. You're not supposed to live stream it. If I had played it, I did not. I don't have any Skate footage that I recorded, regardless of whether I've played it or not. You're not allowed to say. But people have seen that. It's all over. You're not supposed to post it, but people have. And with all that hype going on for this game to come out, and if it's not done, I'm going to be concerned about it. That said, I'm going to be playing it as soon as it comes out, at least pretty close. I'm actually going to be on a trip right when it comes out. So I'm going to be having to come home from that. It's going to take me a little while to show the finished game, but yeah, I am a bit concerned. But hopeful, because the game is good. If they support it, if they keep coming out with new stuff, if they update it after it comes out, they don't do a Skater XL, they actually support the game and continue to come out with new stuff for it, this could be the best skateboarding game ever made. It's got that potential. It's got that in it. It's not there right now. So, we will see. Oh, I want to talk about the catching. The catching is very difficult. To catch a trick, so let's say you do a kickflip, your back foot has to move up, or your front foot can move down, and then you would catch it with your front foot. It didn't really do it. You see, my front foot wants to catch it, but then my back foot did anyway. It's weird. But you have to catch all of your tricks. If you spin and you try to catch your tricks, it's sometimes very difficult. If you spin into a grind, or keep in mind, now your flips are going to go much faster, you have to actually do the opposite input to do the trick that you want to do, but then you got to catch it, but your controls are inverted, but sometimes once you're in the air, they uninvert, and you have to learn tricks by hand. You can't just do every trick. You learn a trick because you have to learn how to catch it too. And you have to learn how to catch it not just when you do it that way. You got to learn how to catch it fakey. It's not the same thing. You actually catch it the opposite way. It's very difficult, which means it's very deep, which means there is a lot to do. It just has to make sense. The difficulty has to come from things that I understand. It can't be, you have to remember that the board flips faster sometimes. Or, if the flip and the spin are, this way, if they go the same direction, then you can get higher than if it's outside way. Like I was showing that when I was trying to get up that the ledge. You have to know all of these things that don't make sense, and that is the path to insanity. So yeah, I'm a little concerned. I'm mostly excited, though. I think this game is going to be at least good, if not great, when it comes out. Stay tuned to see more on that as soon as I can. But yeah, that is all for now. If you have any more questions for Ask Radrat, make sure you go to radratvideo.com. You could submit them from the form on the homepage, and I may answer it. And make sure you're checking out the Shred School. I put a lot of effort into this. I spent months coming up with this course where you can learn a bunch of skateboarding tricks. It's all for free. I would like to see that do well so I can do it again next year. But as far as this episode, we are out, and I will see you next week. Thanks for watching. And now you're going to see me land this trick. Okay, fine. See you next time.